Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nadj and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong. Count on me. Is that
No helping you to carry on.
What's the next part?
Why are we singing this?
I'll tell you.
Count on me. It goes.
Count on me, I will be there. Count on me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Count on.
Count on.
You can count on me.
I don't know why we did that.
You can count on Nadj and Jay.
Being 5 minutes late every time. We're rarely late, so you know.
Not
fine.
every time.
We almost are never late. Actually,
we're never late, actually, for the most part. But it's been a morning. So you know things be happening. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to your.
Really? Are you slipping today on that one?
I am.
Welcome to your real world mess.
Child, this is real messy today, right now. Let me tell you. Okay, let me share this real quick. Because, okay. We're back in. All right. How are you?
I'm good.
You had a good weekend?
Super busy.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. And we'll get into all of that. Make sure you listen back to this episode, the replay of this episode on WJVSradio.com, Delaware's own Grown Folks Radio. You can find the app on your app store for Android or iPhone. Just type in WJVS Radio. So yeah. So we have had some insane couple days. I am literally still trying to place my feet.
And it's all good stuff.
It is. It really is. So let's jump into flowers. Right on into it. So I sang that song because my dear friend Sabuza had his farewell event last night, and on the card he wrote those lyrics.
Oh, it's nice. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
And I read it and I was oh my heart. So now the song is playing in my head. He is moving to Georgia and pursuing his dreams.
I think that ties into a lot of our content today too, honestly.
Yes.
If we're honest.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It's very fitting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this and you shut me up and I'm sorry to jump in, but we are losing someone in our community who was very valuable in terms of creativity, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Very much so. I am thankful for the opportunity to become friends with him. I'm thankful that I was able to open up to him and he felt the same for me. He said something that yesterday about being able to find genuine relationships is hard.
For sure.
You know, so when you find those genuine relationships, you cherish them.
For sure.
And I was honored to be amongst the people that he has genuine relationships with and me being included in that. So I wish him nothing but success. This is the end of our relationship, of course, because baby, I'm coming out to Georgia. But I just wanted to give him flowers for having the bravery, the courage, the heart to move and listen to what God told him and pursue those dreams. So sending you all the flowers. And it was in the juice joint on Union Street and there were flowers everywhere.
That's great. Yeah.
So it was great. So yeah, you have flowers for Haneef?
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to go further into this in a little bit. But just for the top of the show, Haneef put on an event at the UAE called Positive Vibes in the Park.
Positive Vibes.
Man, and I'm going to talk about all that once we get into it. But it was a really great event.
Yeah.
Haneef is the community. He's been doing real work for a long time. At all the levels. Yeah. And I'm honored that he included me. And just for now, till we dig into it, flowers to you, good brother, for putting together a successful event.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have flowers for Nataki and the Soul Firm. She is curating for the Chris White Gallery as
Can we
well.
dig into this one now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're she is currently she owns a soul firm, but she's also curating for the Chris White Gallery and working closely with Sarah at the MKT Gallery. So on Saturday there was a Black Girls Meetup in Art Spaces, their second event, where we went to each gallery and talked about the art, talked about the soft girl experience with some of the actual soft girls, and got to meet one of the artists. What is her name? The last one.
Huh?
The last one at the MKT, the one with the glow in the dark art.
Oh, Velvet.
Velvet.
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah. I was like, who you talking about?
Yeah. Who is so quiet but so sweet. Like she
and
just
her
has,
art
like,
is not quiet. It's bold and loud. So
which is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful, beautiful event. We had a chance at the Chris White Gallery to also talk to Stacy, who owns Strange Fruit Wine, which is so good.
She'll be on the show.
Good.
She'll be on the show.
Yes, we will be interviewing her. And she's named all of her wines after social justice hashtags.
Mm-hmm. She's a wino.
Okay.
She's actually I can't wait to have her on the show because she's a really dope person, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not good. I forgot that we're supposed to be talking. No, I actually want to dig into the event a little bit.
Yeah.
So from my end, I was present, and I think that not more importantly, but one of the big deals about the event was the fact that it was a walking tour.
Yeah.
So you started at the Soul Firm, then went to Chris White, then you walked, and it was like
the
MKT, and there was a nice group of women who were just walking through the city, going from gallery to gallery, which in itself is just cool, and you don't see that. And I have all kinds of ideas about that and how that could grow. But
good morning, Christina.
But I think it's really genuinely dope what Nataki's doing in so many different ways. But this is another clear example of her creating a sisterhood, and and it was genuine. So I was able to kind of just sit back like a fly on the wall and observe everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she'll post about it, but like there was a really good conversation that was had between at least 3 of the soft girls and like their relationship to Nataki and how they all came together.
Yeah.
And to your point about Sabusa, like Nataki is genuinely and authentically creating real relationships and bonds between sisters.
Yeah.
And it's a really beautiful thing to see. And I'm joking now, but also from my end, like, I mean, how many times have I said that I'm a meathead? So in as much as I'm sitting back and like, yo, this is beautiful, I also felt like I was stuck in the middle of a chick flick, like having to listen to all this girly stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, please, my attention span is right out the door, but they're all talking about really relevant female issues. And I'm like, I just want to talk about by the time I walked out, I was one part like, oh my gosh, this was perfect for women. And number 2, I need to drink, like slam a beer up against my forehead, punch something and scream because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most feminine thing. I'm like, I need something to like remasculate myself. But it was really nice. And shout out to you, Nataki.
No, it was. I felt really
I felt
good.
my estrogen slowly rising. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
I felt really good about the conversation. I did not know exactly what we were doing, but I'm glad that she invited us out. And just hearing each story, like Marcelle's story and Mira's story and Taki's story, how we all kind of just came together. And now I'm even more excited about hearing how the other ladies were included. And then being able to share that with the women who were sitting in the chairs in front of us, who we were talking to, because what struck me was there are so many women out there who look at the show Girlfriends, who look at the show Sisters, who look at different examples, Living Single, of women who have this like tribe of other women that they can lean on, and then they don't have that at home. Me being one of them, for a while it was like that until the last couple years, where I have completely opened myself up to cultivating real, true, genuine, authentic relationships with women. And I didn't even talk about this. These relationships have also given me the strength to say, you know what, this person ain't for me, and to be very direct about how I don't want you in my life, and not being disrespectful to you about it, but being able to say, this is not a friendship that I would like to continue, and I wish you the best, but you are not for my life, you know? And for a long time growing up, I didn't know how to do that to people. You know,
That's really interesting.
I did not. But when I realized, when I'm looking at this group, and I'm like, they make me feel beautiful and strong and intelligent and amazing and powerful. But you make me feel like crap. You gotta go. So it just was a really great conversation. Jay recorded it and Talk has it. So Talk, if you're watching this, let me know if you want to post it or if you're okay with him posting it. Or
she got it. I got it. Just all her.
Oh, okay.
If you need help with it, I can help you for sure.
I'm excited for people. If you plan on posting it, I would love for people to hear it because it was really good conversation for women who are seeking friendship, who are seeking, groups of women that feel the same. Because the other thing is our stories may be different, but they're the same at the same time at the end of the day. So it was just really beautiful.
Yeah.
So real quick, I just thought this was interesting. SafeWise, a company that looks at safety trends nationwide, ranked 5 Delaware cities as the safest out of 17 based on FBI crime statistics. You ready to go through the list?
Yeah.
Number 1 safest Delaware city, Milton. It's this big. It's that big. I mean,
and they have a beautiful theater with and Jonathan's Black Joy was wonderful. They packed that place too. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to be safe, leave your purse out, walk around, not get beat up.
I made it up.
Go to Milton. Number 2, Clayton. I don't even know what that is.
This is all Sussex County so far. So basically, just.
I have a lot of thoughts. I got a lot of things.
You're creating a strong argument for conservatism right now, but go ahead.
Number 3, Lewis.
Oh, yep. Keep it going.
Wait, here's where it gets here's where it gets crazy.
Old Newcastle.
Number 4, Ellesmere.
That just discredited the entire article.
Now
the article's wrong. That's it. The article's wrong. It's wrong. You can stop.
I said, excuse me.
You can stop.
L's to the mirror.
You can give your number 5, but it's all just got completely
over there. Your Ellesmere.
Yeah, I'm over this list already.
Listen, I was.
I mean, give your number 5, but come on now.
Number 5, Newark.
Yeah, this is.
Now I take issue with Newark because every time I go there, they make me feel old, and that is an attack. Okay, I go there for dinner, and I get out of the car, and the girls look super young and
they look like kids.
Yes, and they look at me like you're old, and I don't like it. So I take issue with that.
No, girl, please. But yeah.
The rest of the city. So let me see. Wilmington's number 15. Newcastle's number 10. Okay, so there's that. I thought that was interesting. You know what? We wanted to talk about a couple of things, but it's
just
burning
go in.
in
Why
our
do we have to?
spirit.
Yeah. Why do we have to wait?
Let's go back to Haneef.
Is that how we'll approach it? So what we're going to do to give you guys a quick heads up about where we're headed, as we've been listening and watching, participating with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So watch how we connect these dots between Haneef's event, Amanda Seals's appearance on Shay Shay.
Yes.
And Nadj's recent show, and
some chatter.
Our community.
Some chatter.
Our Wilmington arts.
And somebody's watching right now.
Great.
So I'm ready.
Who? Okay.
No. You'll see.
Okay.
Because I'm sure he'll chime in.
Cool. Yeah. And if you don't, it's fine too, good brother. Because I'm gonna be forthright about my opinions, and
this is gonna be an interesting show.
Go.
All right, so I don't know what to do. Let me start with my show.
Fair enough. Let me start. Let's start with her.
Okay.
I'm playing. Go ahead.
So y'all know, and this isn't about a vain thing. This has real. So y'all know
there are a lot of issues going on. So I'd like to start with me. Go ahead. Good.
I want to fight you.
Right.
So, y'all know I posted about a sold out show in Easton, Maryland. Okay.
Where is that?
Where is it?
Which is the whole point.
Right.
Mhm.
So, literally, when I found out that we had sold like 20 or 30 tickets within the first week of them going on sale, and I hadn't even posted about it. Right?
Yeah.
We sold out. I go there. I don't know any of these people. It's a beautiful town, beautiful experience. The show was great. All that blase. Found, it was a great experience for me. But the thing that has been really eating at me is that I sold out at a town that supports. I mean, I learned a lot about this town and what they do and about this specific location, about how they support art. Tickets were $25. And it started eating at me a lot, and for many different reasons. Now I'm coming at this from a different perspective, because yes, I know I sold out last year for my show. I have
at the Queen.
Yeah, at the Queen
with more seats.
Yes, I have a reputation different than a lot of artists in this community, and I am completely understanding and cognizant of that fact. So this is more so in the vein of, how are we supporting our local artists? I have a different experience, but how I came up is very similar to a lot of artists prior to me being on The Voice. I put in the work and built relationships, and it was in the grind, right?
Real quick,
Yeah.
I think it's important to state that even though this entire conversation is about finding ways to make our city reach its potential.
Yes. Yes.
That involves criticism.
Yes.
There are some really good things about Wilmington, and
Yes.
I'm here, like, I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
And am ready to put in the work.
Yes. When I got to a certain point, and not even when I got to a certain point, I have always made room for other artists. Always. Anytime I've been given the opportunity to bring an artist in, work with an artist, collaborate, I have utilized that. But I don't see the same thing happening in many different spaces within the city, with also when it comes to artists as well.
I think the bigger question right now from my end, specifically just talking about Easton, is the thing that is most interesting about the success that you had with that event is that you didn't have to do anything. It was
Nothing.
that the venue did an excellent job of number one, reaching out to its community and getting
Yes.
its community involved.
And so let me go back to this. So at the time,
Like, you could have done this whole sold out show and no one would know, but those people would have been
Right.
happy, and that venue would have done what it needs to do.
So when I did my show at the Queen, Brianna Hansen was working there, and the amount of promo behind my event differed vastly from other artists. Now, when Brianna was there,
And was it fair to say that you were also expected to help promote on your end?
oh yes,
Yeah.
but they also needed to promote.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna, while she was there, was amazing with our local artists. Things have changed. And
Just based around the diversity of the lineup.
that, based around the promotion of artists, and it's not just the Queen, there are other venues and organizations that have the same issue.
Theater Inn, we love you.
Theater Inn is not in this conversation
Not at all. We
all.
love
Let's
you
take that out.
completely.
Let's
Yep.
just
So
right
don't even
there.
try it. But go ahead.
Man bun, you already know.
We love you.
So what we're getting at ultimately is there needs to be a crackdown on. No, it's a crackdown. There
Okay,
needs to
I'm
be a
listening.
crackdown on the respect for the local artists that we have within this city. But at the same time, we need to also discern the difference between who, I'm gonna just say this bluntly, who is good enough to be on a certain stage and who isn't.
And who isn't a pain in the ass to work with.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I'm going to kind of switch it because Haneef's event is a really great case in point. He put together a good event. And the frustrating part, and I don't like, okay, I understand that there are costs involved with any show, and that, you know, if it costs $1,000 to have sound at a venue and you can't recoup that sound, I get, you know, why that's a concern. At the same time, it's like we have this beautiful space that's supposed to be for the community. And, you know, it was a real, like, if I hadn't brought my equipment in terms of like power and all that kind of stuff, all the performances would have been inside one of the not the sheds, but one of the what do you call it? One of the stables, or the stables in there, which would do no justice to him. So we basically put this whole thing on our back, and it turned out to be successful. But a lot of people walked in, and there was some. I mean, you can go to my page and look at the faces and see who was there. You know, we're complaining like, yo, well, why isn't you know, why aren't you guys on the big stage? And there are good reasons for that, I guess. But it's like we have to get to a point where Haneef is able to put on an event there and have access to the full stage. And I don't know if it's a funding issue or not, but like there is a disconnect. And I'm not trying to blame anyone specifically, but there is a disconnect. I will say this, and I'm very comfortable saying this. The UAE is a beautiful venue, and everyone involved with getting that together deserves a tremendous amount of credit for making it happen. And they've had some really good acts there over the course of last year, and they have some really good acts that I'm aware of coming this year. But the idea that Richard Raw or Nadj Nicole is not a part of this year's list is concerning, because I'm very comfortable saying this. I am 100% sure, because I saw almost every single act last year, that both Richard and Nadj are as good as, if not better than, several of the acts who were there last year. And if it's for our community, you have to include certain people who are able to meet the quality, the quality hurdle, and also the work with the bull thing. You know, like you can't. I'm leaving myself out of it completely. And so
you
we
let me out of the shit.
No, but like I'm saying it, these are my words. And so we have to get to a point in many different places where we're really investing. You know, yeah, it might cost you some money. You might even lose out sometimes. I bet you won't, quite frankly, but you might have to take some investment risks. But you've got to give certain people from this community a real chance to be successful in these venues. And I will say, me specifically, like, I have no desire to be a touring artist, but I do want to be your hometown hero who you can always count on, you know, doing a great show here with the band. And, you know, there are certain artists specifically who I still feel like are not getting the push that they deserve from like local officials. And on one hand, though, I'm not going to rely on anybody. Like, I can put it on my back. But if we're really having a conversation where this is a small community of really high quality talent, like, can't we get everybody on board? You know what I'm saying? Even if we have personal issues, you know, we can get over these things. And we talked about the same thing last week with city council. Like, maybe you do have your grievances with each other for personal reasons, for reasons that I don't know.
Ultimately, it's not about you.
It's not about you. It's about making a strong community of artists that, you know, really make this place meet a certain potential that I believe is still really unmet.
And the thing about it is, you can't meet potential when you're gatekeeping.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of gatekeepers in this city, and it makes no sense, because the reason that they're able to gatekeep, the reason that they're able to think that they can do that, is because there were people lifting them up and supporting them. But for some reason, they're not turning back and saying, you know what, let me do the same.
Like, there's no way that over the course of 2 years, and maybe, I don't know anything happening really behind the scenes, but like, unless Darnell was like, nah, I don't want to do it because I can't, maybe he's sick, but like, over 2 years, Darnell should be on that UAE stage with a full band rocking, because Darnell's music is high, high, high quality. I've seen his shows. There's no one who performed last year at the UAE who was better than Darnell. And I will say that. Like, I know that art is objective or subjective, whatever, but like, there's nobody who took over that stage last year who is better than what Darnell can offer. And Darnell should most certainly have his hour in that space. And I'm not just I mean, UAE does have its issues, but this is across the board. Like, and not, the Queen has been great to Darnell as far as I understand, but like, just in general, these kinds of things have to be addressed. And I'm not saying that whoever is making these decisions is a terrible person. Maybe they're not connected. Maybe they just kind of have a small spectrum of taste. But like, there is such a wide variety that deserves a chance that isn't getting the chance, and we have to get to the point where we change that.
So I got a couple randoms that and maybe you can make sense of them.
Yeah.
So number one, you can't use the word community if you're not including the community. Number one.
Especially when these people are high quality.
Yes. Number two, I understand the frustration of people wanting to be at certain places and doing certain things, but we also have to remember to uplift the ones that are there. So Jeffrey Adekora, lift him up.
Yes.
Lift him up.
Yes.
Show up for him this Wednesday. I'm going to be there this Wednesday.
I'll be there.
Jay's going to be there this Wednesday. Yes, I understand that there are people who want to be on that stage, who want to be acknowledged, who want to show their talent, showcase their talent. We got to go about things a different way, and that's fine. But he's on that stage this Wednesday, and he's a local artist. So what are we going to do? Show up for him. Because the other thing that we have to remember is, while we're complaining and making our grievances known, we still have to be supportive of the artists that are doing the exact same thing that we're trying to do, and the exact same thing that we're airing grievances about, so that they don't fall in this world of, oh, well, they didn't support me because they're upset that I'm on the stage. No, we're not upset at you, Jeffrey. You did nothing wrong. In fact,
and you're a dope artist.
Ridiculously proud of you for being chosen and being on that stage, and we're going to show up for you.
I love the blues.
That's what community does.
I love the blues.
That's what community does. The other random thought that I had was, what was the other thing? We have to start. We can call people out. We can call organizations out, but we have to do it in a way that is tactful and that doesn't attack.
And again, going back to the conversation that we had last week about city council.
Right.
Number one, no one is beyond reproach, right? There's no one that is like, you don't deserve any criticism, and no one can mention your name.
Everybody can get it.
Yes. I don't know if I phrase it that way. But like, no one
should be open to criticism in a loving manner, because we all live here. We all have to
everyone has to put egos to the side.
Ego aside. Yes.
And accept that maybe you're not perfect, and that maybe you've made some errors in judgment.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to be like, there are certain people, and I'm using Ray Avery as an example because she's not in this conversation at all. But like, in the event that Ray did something that was questionable, I personally would hesitate to like mention her name online, because y'all know me actually. Like, think about how many times I've actually named an individual, and we've had some real beef. I'm sorry, individual. We've had some genuine beefs, and we never actually said, this person, da-da-da-da. And maybe there is a time to do that, but with certain people, like Ray Avery as an example, who doesn't have anything from me that I have to criticize, but just as an example, because she's outside of this, like, you got to be very careful with certain people, because, if you have a legacy, I'll even use my dad, quite frankly. There are ways that you can criticize my dad, okay? But at the same time, like, let's be real, this man's been putting in some serious work for literally almost 50 years. So, you have to walk in with a certain amount of respect. And I'm not saying that anyone was disrespectful, but you have to be hyper cautious when you're dealing with people who have really paid their dues and done and created a clear legacy that is standing and that is very valuable. That's not to say that you only have one job, but like you have to be very careful is all I'm saying. And as much as you can, and I know that some people disagree with this, you try to have these conversations, you try, and I'm not saying no one did try, that you didn't try, but you try to have these conversations behind closed doors, and then you slowly, you know,
and I got on Jay. I got on Jay about this. We actually had like a little thing last week, a couple days in a row, where I said to him, when the city council thing came up, you said to me, sometimes you got to shake shit up. Sometimes you got to get in their face and say some things that people don't like. And I said, and then when this situation came up, he was like, no, this person has really, you know, this person
easy,
just,
but go ahead.
You know, and I was like, sometimes you have to do things in a manner that other people are uncomfortable with so that your point is heard. And I feel like the problem with this city is that there are people that we are afraid to name names because of future opportunities. But at the same time, that's the exact reason why we're not getting opportunities. So there's a way, and then we have to have that conversation within ourselves and with other people. How do we address these issues without harming ourselves, our reputation, or that person's
I don't have a problem
reputation?
harming anyone's reputation if it deserves to be harmed. And I don't know where that line is specifically for me. You know, like if someone is really doing some foul stuff that's just blatant, you know, that needs to be addressed.
Oh God, there's a couple people I want to name right now.
You know, like if I find out someone is like, you know, punching children, like I'm going really extreme for a reason. Like I'm going to say, yo, I just saw this so-and-so punch a child. Like that's not okay. You know what I mean? But there's a fine line, and I don't know where it is, and everyone has their different approach, and I can appreciate that. And for me personally, I feel like specifically with politics, that's why I said that with the situation at City Council. I feel like that is more of an arena where you literally, like, because these are public figures, where you really do have to kind of.
But so are artists.
No, but not the people behind the scenes necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm very public. You know what I mean? And you can criticize me all you want, quite frankly.
You stink.
Sure, exactly. I stink. You're
not tan.
I'm not yet, but I'm getting there. It's just a fine line. But at the end of the day, the issues being brought up right now are very valid. And I feel the same way that I feel about the city council thing. Is that there's space for these conversations to be had in a proper way so that no one is disrespectful unnecessarily. But the point and that the changes are made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, I'll stick on Darnell. And not that he's complained, and maybe he's like, why are you putting my name in this, bro? But like over the course of 2 years, if he has been available, Darnell should absolutely be on that stage, you know, for a full hour doing his thing, because he's top tier, period.
Yeah. It's a very interesting time for artists. The city is booming with business, but it's not booming with business that benefits a lot of the largest community. And that's bothersome to me. And I could assume, I could, you know, come up with all of these scenarios, but I really don't know.
The UAE could be such a crucible for.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Okay.
Why do you do that?
The UAE could be a perfect place to really.
All I'm thinking is Christ died on the cross now. Like, what is you talking about?
To build artistry for honestly any kind of art, but like specifically for musicians. It could be such an opportunity to have, you know, weekly events where we really spend time with, you know, everything from a jam session to like really giving people their first chance to perform on a legit stage outside in a like mini festival kind of setting. It's just and not that you can make things happen overnight, but like there's so much potential that I think so many of us want to see.
Jeffrey, says, I truly appreciate the kind words and support. I hope to make y'all proud.
He will.
Truthfully, I have been feeling uneasy about the gig with all what is going on. But
Yeah, that's not
believe,
fair to him.
I know I'm an outsider of the younger folks, but I really hope the local legends, artists, and those putting in work get to have access to the stage. I don't know how or why I got called, but like any gig I did,
But you got called because you're good.
You're good, Jeffrey.
Okay.
This is what I need, and this is the thing. Like we have to be so mindful of the fact that when we are loud and proud about something that really like moves us, and we are like we were passionate about advocating for artists, we have to be careful because there's an artist that is in the crossfire. Who's
I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm opening up this unnecessarily maybe, but like it's the same principle to me as this.
Because wait, let me say this. There was a part of me that didn't want to post about my sold out show in Easton because I didn't want it to slight what I've done in Wilmington, even though I do have qualms with what is going on in Wilmington, and it shouldn't be like that.
When I took the picture of the little girl outside the library saying that
we hope you come back, Misty, because we
wait,
didn't get to see
my
you.
point is that there is no way to deny the fact that there were little black girls trying to get inside the library crying to see someone. So maybe we can get them back. At the same time, Jamar is amazing.
Yes.
The library is fantastic.
All Jay did was
Jeffrey Achakura is fantastic. We're excited for him to perform. And we want more of our city because there are a whole lot of other people that deserve some space on that stage.
So Jeffrey, well deserved.
You got to have two things in your brain at once.
Be prepared to be loved on.
Good God.
Just like all of our artists deserve to be loved on.
So, and let me just, now I'm kind of warmed up a little bit and I'm comfortable. Like, Nadj will say, I'm like, okay, personally, right? Nadj will say to me, you know, you need to dress better and you need to sing softer. Is my response, well, you think I'm a terrible singer and I'm just a bum? No, it's criticism. And it's criticism for the purpose of having you do better. Yep. So the people in cultural affairs do great work. Clifford Brown Festival is something 36 years, 37 years, giving us wonderful music for free in the city. It's a wonderful legacy. It is extremely valuable. Wilmington would not be Wilmington without it. At the same time,
things change
because no one's perfect.
People have to grow.
I want to see certain people on that UAE stage. Not me at all. Leave me out of it.
I want to see people.
I'm happy to listen. I could perform inside of a trash can. Like I don't need much. You know what I'm saying? I can keep it gully. And that's what I did with Haneef and why I had so much fun.
Richard says, when other venues are closed, we have to bring these conversations public. We never want that. Jeff, we will be there to support you like we came to support Haneef. Nataki says, this is what I want to hear. Listen.
And listen, since we've opened up this gate, some of y'all are disillusioned.
Yes.
With your ability. So just because somebody sometimes you aren't called to the job because your quality isn't there yet. And you can't start hating on somebody else and starting to call names and say I'm being left out. Now, the people we mentioned are high quality.
Yes.
But in the event that someone else is like, I'm not there.
You got to look at yourself.
Like, you got to be objective. Like, I know how well I sing. I sing really good. Really, really good, right? But I know that if I'm standing next to Layla Hathaway, shut your black mouth, boy. You know, understand?
But here's the thing. Here is the thing. The beauty, and this is, I'm speaking from personal experience, the beauty of having these types of spaces and having a Layla Hathaway type artist in front of you or next to you that's touchable, it gives you the opportunity to learn and figure out how you need to improve on your craft. But you can't do that if you're not able to walk on that same path. Mm-hmm. I am able to get into certain rooms and on certain stages because of what I've been through, but I couldn't have gotten there if someone didn't open the door for me. The problem is we got people shutting doors in our faces. We have people shutting doors in our faces. We have people who think they own everything.
If we going all the way in,
people
listen,
who,
y'all don't even know this.
We got organizations, and this ain't directed to cultural affairs. There's a bunch of people around here. There's a bunch of organizations. There's a bunch of venues that act like they don't see us.
Listen.
So when somebody opens their mouth to say something, there's a reason, because we've seen it. We've been through the trenches. I've performed in front of one person. I performed in front of thousands of people. But the difference is I got the opportunity. Why? Because there were other artists who gave me that opportunity. There were other organizations that gave me that opportunity. And that's all we want.
Not just going all the way
because it's maddening, because I want certain artists to be better. You think I want to sit in the audience and watch you do bloopity blops on stage? No, but if it means that you're gonna grow from it, then shit, put them on stage.
Nadj is going out west this summer to perform at some really significant, at some legit venues. And you know, the people in those venues who were brought, who had Nadj brought to their attention, were like, "Oh, this is fantastic!" Like,
go ahead.
This is fantastic. We want her. Like, awesome. You know, the people in Easton, Maryland, this tiny town. Did you know anybody in the audience at all?
My family.
Like the audience did, like the venue did an amazing job of.
But my experience.
And so I know you don't want the smoke right now, but like, y'all should be beating down her door. Like, I want you here. I want you here. I want you here. Not just because of the voice, but because at this point, everyone should be clear. And you're going to see video from the gig in Easton. It's because you have a high, world-class, you know, singer.
But here's the thing. What I need people to understand is that when you have artists like myself and like Richard, we are so quick to grab somebody up and say, come open, come sit in with me, come perform with me, come do this with me. The amount of people that I have brought to things, even when I'm not performing, that I've called and I said, no, your asking price is too low. I'm going to put another couple hundred on it. I want you to come perform here. I have given opportunities or provided or even gigs. I have passed up gigs intentionally because I know so-and-so needs this, because I need people to see this person because they're that good. It's the same thing for artists and organizations. Nataki had a...
Y'all should be throwing her money. No, I'm not waiting. Y'all should be throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars for her to curate and expand and make her brand huge. Because all of her ideas are tip-top notch. She has great artists. She's cultivating community. She's cultivating art. And she's doing it genuinely with no shadiness. Give her all the money. Leave me out of it.
Nataki had a man who was full on in jail, an art show for him, and sold his art for him and brought him in on video. The Wilmington Library picks local moderators.
Not us.
Nigga, it's not about us. It's not about us. They are calling on people. The point is that we have to do a better job of recognizing where we stand within the community, whether we are the person that pulls people in, whether we're the organization or owner of a business that has the means to bring somebody in. You know, we have to start connecting the dots a little bit better, and we have to be mindful. Am I doing the work properly?
I'm good at what I do. And the reason that I responded to Haneef's call with 100% yes, no matter what the situation is. The reason, and I'm comfortable saying this, that I just showed up, you know, and didn't even ask about money, is because I know what Haneef is trying to build. And if I can help him in any capacity, that's why I showed up with my keyboard. That's why I showed up with my sound. And that's why I showed up with my camera, because I wanted to bring what he's trying to do as much potential success and to make it as legit as possible. You know, and those kind of people, Haneef, Nataki, these are the kind of people, like, I just want whoever has a budget, whoever has money, the city, the county, give them all the money because they deserve it and they will do good things with it. And that's the thing.
We didn't even get into the fact that there are community activists that are doing so much good work, and I'm gonna use Haneef as an example. The fact that Haneef doesn't have a specific home where he can utilize outside of the UAE, because it's not a built like a brick and mortar that he can do something in the winter. The fact that nobody has utilized him the way he needs to be utilized is mind-boggling.
And let me be clear, because we didn't
Mind-boggling.
actually dig into the
The
event.
Cultural Restoration Project is everywhere. I need them to be in the News Journal. I need them to be on USA Today. What the hell?
No.
What is going on?
So just specifically with this event, because I didn't get a chance to go into it. Number one, I mean, I performed. I did a pretty good job. The DJ was great, and you know, he had some food there. He had snacks, and he's such an interesting guy, because it was like there was literally 2 sound setups. He had his own personal sound setup
because he knew the capacity at which he speaks.
and it was so funny, because you have the DJ playing and he's from the other side yelling all of his Haneefisms, and it's the funniest thing. And I'm trying not to go way off track, but my point is that and there were some really some names, like, you know, Richard was there, Chris Fullman was there, Jarrell was there. These are all, you know, people we all know and respect who showed up and hung out, and the vibe was genuinely good. My happiest point was at the end, once I finished my set, the DJ started playing the music that we all love to dance to. You had, you know, they did African line dances, you know, they put in the drill music, and everybody's dancing and having a good time, and that was it. And the only thing I was thinking in my brain is like, I just want more. I want more people. I want more music. I want more budget. I want it on the big stage. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that the relative success of his event on Friday, Saturday, whatever that was.
Friday.
I'm hoping that he gets more access. Because it was well done. You know what I mean? And it was a great vibe. It really was what he said it would be.
Yes. Positive vibes in the park.
Yeah, I wish I could imitate his voice.
I know, right? I always go to like this weird raspy New York thing, and that just doesn't work.
No.
There was another thing that I wanted to touch. Oh, the other thing was we have a very diverse culture within Wilmington. We all know that the Blacks make up the majority. I mean, it is what it is. We make up the majority, but we also have other cultures that live here and thrive within here. And I think it's important that, yes, we diversify our events, because to act as if like that doesn't matter, to act like, you know, the Greek community and the Italian community and the whatever communities aren't here would be dumb, number one. But two, it would fail our children, because we live in a world of diversity and culture and what?
My vision, my dream is that,
oh my God,
you know, at Haneef's next event, and I know, good brother, you don't eat pork, and I respect that. My Muslim brother, I respect that. But I need a significant amount of Puerto Ricans present, playing some salsa, and I need a pig on a spit, roasting and smoking outside. Like, I need my pernil. You understand what I'm saying to you? I need that. Okay? So, to your point, and I want... Marshall got the tacos on lock.
I didn't make my point.
Sorry, but like, I start thinking about food. I'm half hungry,
I know, I'm hungry
but I
too.
need all of these things.
My point
I went
was,
dining with the Haitian food truck. You understand what I'm saying to you?
My point was to read the room. Read the room. My qualm with the Queen, I'm gonna just put it out there. My qualm with the Queen as of yet is that there aren't enough artists for our people. And it doesn't, and my thing is, okay, you are worried about the risk that local artists, you have to take with local artists and ticket sales. Cool. That's the I
except you sold it out, except Darnell sold it out, except Zeke sold it out. Like, you know?
Cool. Because I know business, I get it. And because I know who possibly owns it and all that, whatever, I understand the risk of local artists and ticket sales. But why aren't you pulling in Black and brown artists and the genres that we mostly listen to that aren't local?
And you got to give them an opportunity to walk away without having to go in debt. Like, you got to give them an opportunity. Like, if Nadj shows up and sells 100 tickets, and it's a really good show. You got to give her and the band a genuine opportunity, financial opportunity, to walk out with something in her pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's reasonable. And I know that like it's a balancing act. I'm not saying I don't know exactly what your numbers are, but like it's got to be a consideration. Because
that,
if you tell me that, you know, I'm going to bring a full band and do like a 2-hour show and kind of sell 100 tickets and I'm breaking even because I got to pay this, that, and the other, it's like it doesn't make sense for me.
But aside from that, it's yes, that's a big thing. Talking numbers.
Like your numbers in Easton were great for you financially too.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's also because I have a management team.
Okay, but like either way.
And that's the other thing. We also need to talk about artist development, but that's going to have to be another show. But what I'm saying is we have venues in the city who are always bringing in outside acts. And that's beautiful. Bring them in because that brings in more money for our city. But where is the entertainment for our people? What is that about? I think who was here recently? HBCU week brought in Monica. Who was the last artist that or something for our people that was brought in by any of these organizations that have the means and who have the talent buyer to bring in the artists and the stuff that we like? Where is it? Why is it that when I'm scrolling on these timelines, I'm not seeing nothing for my people? I don't see nothing. What is that? The only thing I'm looking forward to is Clifford Brown Jazz Festival because I know there's gonna be some black and brown up in there. But what the hell? What are y'all doing? And why is this such a problem? And it leads me to what I've noticed in the past is that there's always an uptick of downtown visions, personal security, and police whenever y'all book something for our people. And that maybe that's another conversation as well. And maybe that's what deters you from, or y'all's organizations from bringing in who we like. But I need some major changes. I need some major changes. And I need people to start speaking up. I need more advocates. If you're looking in your boardroom or you're looking in your planning team all around the table and it's not as diverse as the community that we live in, then you have a problem and you need to be called out about it. And whether it's done on Facebook or it's done in an email through your organization or a personal meeting with somebody you trust, we need to do some reflection on what's going on within our city and the organizations that are being put up there.
And I also feel very comfortable saying that, in as much as this is kind of an aggressive conversation, at the end of the day, I firmly believe that making these changes will benefit everyone. Like I understand, maybe I don't understand, but like I understand in my thinking brain why you might be concerned, even though it's not a valid concern. Like I get what your concerns might be, but like giving the right people the opportunity to build and grow will literally benefit everyone.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you will ultimately have a happier and more profitable setting.
Yep.
If you bring the right people on board. And there are wrong people. Like, but I'm just saying, like, the names that we've named, I feel very comfortable advocating for. Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna just put this out there as well. You can sit and act like what you're doing is okay because it's all raindrops and bubblegum and rainbows. But if you're not talking about the real shit within the community, you're not doing anything.
What do you mean? I mean,
you can put all the positivity out there and talk about all the positive things you're doing. And you can put on that face like everything's great and there's no worries and we don't talk about nothing negative and I got all this and I got all that. But unless you're talking about the real issues within the community and getting to the whys and getting to the root of the problem and bringing on information from all sides so that you can have a real conversation, you're not doing anything for the community. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, I'm not, well, okay, cool.
Yeah. So we got a lot of work to do. And also remember that this is an election year. And that's a big deal as well.
The overall frustration, I think, from our end is that there's just a significant unmet potential. And from the beginning, the whole reason that we decided to do what we do is to be sort of cheerleaders for Wilmington and for Delaware, because we do love it here. And, we see a significant potential that is unmet. And in order for it to be met, certain changes have to be made.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? I don't actually know what he's saying. You know what I mean? I just see that.
Nothing. That's the problem.
Are you sure that's what he's saying?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to address it, but
Yeah.
if that's what he's saying, I understand if that is what is being implied with that comment, I get it.
Listen, some money don't run us.
Clearly.
Like it run other people.
Clearly.
Listen, money don't run us, honey.
No, and I'm thankful
You know
for that.
what runs us? You know what runs Nadj and Jay? And this has never changed. Our 3-year anniversary is coming up this Saturday.
Genuine passion for what we do.
Genuine passion for what we do. Okay?
We love our city.
We love our city. We love our artists. We love whether visual to sculptures to rap artists to whatever. We love our state and our city, but specifically our city because this is where we reside.
Like, I know that the city might take this as us bashing the city, but what we're actually doing is cheerleading for our artists.
Yes.
You get that? You get that? Like,
and by doing that,
yeah, like we're cheerleading for Darnell. You can look at it as, oh, they're bashing the city. No, we're actually
for them too. Because if you're going to be in office, you need to make sure that you are abreast of what's happening within your community. And if you are not, your head ain't in the game.
I'm cheerleading for Seta. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cheerleading for Richard.
Like council members, we want you to be a part of these conversations.
I'm cheerleading for Haneef.
It matters.
I'm cheerleading for Nataki. I'm cheerleading for who else? You know what I'm saying?
So you have to be well-rounded. Well-rounded. Because there's a lot going on.
I'm cheerleading for Is,
And sometimes, when money is involved, people forget where they come from.
But pay us.
I mean, listen, if you want to buy
Let's be clear. No.
I do like.
Let's be clear.
I like pho.
Let's be clear.
Look, all you got to do is give him a bottle of tequila.
Ask Haneef.
And some tacos, and he'll shut up. He will shut up. So let me just put this out there. Does Nadj and Jay charge for stuff? Yes. Like, we do have a specific, I'll give you a proposal. Sometimes I will start the conversation with that, but I can read the room. I know when we can have that conversation. But majority of our stuff is free. The interviews that we do, the events we show up to, most of the time we get paid when we're doing specific stuff, but everything else is free. And we do this on our free time with babies and marriages and a music career because we love what we do and we love our people. And we see that there is a serious issue with people forgetting about the local heroes and the local businesses and all of the things that are going on.
You got to be an adult in order to be a real, and I'm not saying anyone's a child, but when you're at a certain level of maturity, you have to be able to accept criticism, and that's myself included, and not take it as a personal attack. And if it becomes a personal attack, that's a different thing, perhaps, and it might be deserved. But fundamentally, no one should be. No one is above criticism, myself included. And all of the criticism that we are, offering right now is specifically us cheerleading people that we love. Let me say that again.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, if you go into the comments, there's some points are being made that are valid. And it's on one hand, see, my personality is this. You leave me to my own devices, I'll just do it all on my own, which is what I've been doing. But at the same time, if we're going to really be serious, you have to, at some point, do your best to involve your local government.
Yeah.
And all of the local people who have money, because it's a natural part of the equation.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly comfortable and willing to do everything on my own, as I always have been.
Yeah.
But, but we can do better.
And let me say this, I can't give specifics, But
Pacifics.
I can't give specifics. But let me tell you this: there has this issue of because I'm going back to the black and brown thing, and also the majority of our community in Wilmington being of black and brown folk. It's not just on the civilian us level. Within our city government and within our city officials and different locations within the city, there's also beef there too, where I've actually witnessed how one organization didn't like the audience of one organization, so they made shit difficult for them. I witnessed it.
And this for me, and we can keep going. We could talk about it for a long
Listen,
time.
we got stuff.
No.
for days.
But this is where I started thinking about Amanda Seales, specifically, because despite my personal sentiment about how she seems to be as a person, it's just another lesson to me that these things happen at all levels.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
what's happening here is the same thing that happens in Hollywood, and there are problems like that just everywhere in all spaces. But one thing I can control, just not even control, but one place where I feel like I can maybe have a greater impact is on my small community. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe Amanda Seales is always going to be in a situation where she's, you know, worried about being blackballed, this, that, and the other.
She's tone deaf.
She is tone deaf, and you can't be tone deaf. But my point is that, like, we can do better.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. The minute is walk into a room, don't give him no problems. Don't give Iz no problems. Don't give Iz no problems.
And obviously we love Iz, and this is the point actually. Don't give Iz any problems. And I doubt that Iz would ever give you any problems. But even Iz is not beyond criticism in the event that it's deserved. It's not. He does everything great.
Oh.
But I'm saying nobody is deserving. No one is above reproach. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Oh, I can dig that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can dig
Richard?
that. Yeah. I can dig that for sure.
We got some work to do.
Yeah, we're happy to do the work, but everybody has to
Yeah.
put down their egos and say, listen, how can we get to the place where we really should be?
Yep.
And not and be flexible.
And
even with what we do with this show, like, you got to realize we have two separate, not totally separate visions, but we have different ideas.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we have
every
to
time he
compromise.
shows up in a t-shirt, I want to slap him in the face.
You know what I'm saying?
Time.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's at all levels, but we both have to put our giant light-skinned egos to the side and say, you know what, you get that, you get that, and it happens. It trickles up.
And last thing, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who have direct connections to people who have authority over certain places, organizations, or who are an artist. Like, if you have that direct line where you can call up and that you can have that conversation with them, please don't be afraid to have that conversation. Like, I have called people and said, hey, we need to talk. And this is coming from a loving place, but these are my concerns. You have to have those conversations. If you are friends, if there is I'm making this up, but if there is a Tower Theater and you know the owner like this, and you are seeing what's going on and you're seeing what they're doing and there's a disconnect, you need to call your friend and have a conversation. And there are a lot of us who have direct lines to people within this city. And I had to remind somebody recently, like, you're friends with this very important person. Go to them. Especially if you don't normally ask. Like, we have to remember that we can lean on those people. And for some reason we forget that. But these are those times where it's time to lean in.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just had a thought.
We need to lean in and have these conversations so that people can, because sometimes they be so up in the sky that they don't see what's going on. Sometimes they just are. So you have to have those conversations, because if you don't, there are going to be some things said that they find out later on, and it may hurt them. It may make them feel isolated, or they may be mad. So try to get to those people before something on Facebook pops up, a news article pops up, something on TV, like whatever.
Bringing it back around, I want to live in a place where Sabusa feels like he doesn't have to leave.
Yes.
To meet his potential.
Oh God.
Bringing it all the way back around.
Yeah.
When a Sabusa is like, nah, this is my place.
Yes.
I can meet my full potential as an artist with all of my value and qualities. When I can reach my full potential here,
yeah,
that'll be the place that we all know it can be.
Yeah.
We are geographically in a perfect place.
Yeah.
And we have enough high quality talent in this teeny tiny area to build something special.
Yeah.
And if everyone, myself included, everyone, if you're listening to these words, every single one of you has to put your ego to the side. And we all have big ones, but you got to put it down.
Yeah.
You got to be flexible.
Yeah.
Stick to your principles.
Yes.
But you got to compromise.
Yeah.
You got to be able to self-reflect and be objective and work for a common good.
Yes.
And that common good is fundamentally, I know that we can be a beacon of high quality Black and brown art.
Yes.
So let's get there.
Let's get there. We got this, Wilmington. We really do.
Love y'all.
We do. We truly, I love us for real.
We should sing something light skinned now.
Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so I'm gonna transition into the song with this. Everything that we work on now affects our babies. So everything that we're doing, every event, every legislative thing passed, everything that we're doing is going to affect the next generation, which is our babies. So let's keep that in mind. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. There we go. There we go. And classic Nadj and Jay way. We love you for watching.
Wait, I gotta end this the right way.
End it. God, this is
Say goodbye.